Okay, it is start at 4:15. And so, what did he have to say?
He's pretty standard.
All right, here we go.
Yeah, I just won.
I think this thing's out of batteries. I noticed last week it was just so quiet, and now it occurs to me that that might be the problem. Maybe it just needs batteries, or it's just 20 years too old. Could be. All right, it's the Gaming Galleon. I'm Captain Raz. Welcome to Adventure. Welcome to another week of mystery, excitement, and frankly, a little slacking off. Because, you know, we're very close to a hiatus here on the show. We're going to be taking a couple weeks off. This is just something that has to happen sometimes when you have a pirate ship. We have to do a little something called careening. I'm not sure if you know what that is, but basically every 6 months or so you got to pull the boat out of the water. You got to lean it over to one side, and then you got to start scraping all the barnacles or whatever has been stuck to the bottom of the boat or accumulated. This causes a lot of drag. So in order to make us go a little faster, get us to our destinations each week, we're doing that. Another reason is we're going to be hitting up Gen Con in Indianapolis. This is our last voyage. We're at our destination right now, which just happens to be in a little town called Paris, France. Okay? And in Paris is a theme park called Euroreptarland. Am I pronouncing that right? Euroreptarland. That's it, Euroreptarland. Everybody's kind of dialing it in this week. You know, Biz set up the quarters for us to get our voyage going. You know, now he's probably knee deep in a bottle of rum. Patty the Swallow's around here somewhere. He's probably supposed to be cooking, but last time I saw him, he was playing Street Fighter V online. You know, these things just happen. Myself, I gotta be honest with you, I didn't play this game. Haven't played a bit. Okay? 2 reasons for that. One, sometimes you just want to dial it in. And 2, it's a theme park. At least that's what this game builds it to be. This is what we're playing today. Rugrats in Paris, the movie. Okay? This is probably the kind of game that if you're in a thrift store, you would never pick up. But there's something about this one that grabbed me, and it's because the entire thing supposedly takes place in a theme park where you can explore and maybe even find some rides. So I thought that would be the perfect way for us to kick off our little shore leave hiatus. But you know, this is always a dangerous kind of voyage because it's a gamble. It's a huge gamble. You know, you pop in like a fighting game or like a 2D space shooter for a voyage, and it's like you're almost on autopilot. All you got to do is stay alive, right? It's easy cheesy. But something like this, going into unexplored territory in a kid's game that supposedly may have rides for the PlayStation 1 is rife with problems. For one thing, we may find the most boring cutscenes alive. We don't want to find those. We may run into load screens, you know, every 2 minutes. We don't want to find those. We may find like one ride that we get locked into the entire voyage. I don't want that, okay? So I think what our plan is we're going to explore Euroreptarland. And if you don't know what that is, the Rugrats are these babies. This was an old 90s Nickelodeon show. See that? And it's about these babies who can talk, okay? Or at least they can talk to each other. They can't talk to adults, but they can talk to each other. And it's a very charming show. It was made in a time when Nickelodeon just could do no wrong when it came to animation. And it makes me wonder why it's so hard to find shows as charming as this these days. There are some exceptions. But, you know, in these days, you could spend your entire Sunday morning watching these. And it would just be hit after hit after hit. I feel like these days that's a little harder to come by. Where are we at? We got about 5 minutes. I want to talk about another reason that I wanted to play this game. Or was inspired to play something a little on the kid side this week. I was hanging out with a friend of mine last weekend who was a single mother. Okay? She's got I think like a 6-year-old. And, you know, we're hanging out for the day, and I'm like, well, what do you want to do? And she's like, well, there's one thing that I want to do before we do all the stupid crap that you like to do, Captain Raz, and that's go to this place that I heard of where I can drop off my kid's old stuff that he outgrew for money. And I'm like, huh, that sounds a lot like the kind of places that I frequent, just not the kid thing. And I'm like, okay, well, what is it called? She says it's called Once Upon a Child. I don't know if you heard what this is. I see him here and there back in Indianapolis, but I've never been in one. And apparently what Once Upon a Child is it's kind of like a video game store, but instead of buying video games, they buy children's toys, they buy children's clothing, and probably that's about it. Oh, maybe bikes, I don't know, small stuff, but this is for kids. And it's all kid stuff. So I'm like, well, this is fascinating. You know, not only do they buy the stuff, but they're selling some stuff. So, you know, it's a long shot, but maybe I'll find something that we would be interested in. Who knows? In any event, negotiations always get the best of me. I was very excited to go. So we showed up there with, she had like 4 bags worth of stuff. You had some toys, you had some clothes, and then I think she had some Halloween costumes. Okay, and we show up at this place, and 2 people are in front of us, and they're selling off like these little 4-wheelers and, you know, whatnot, and there's pandemonium all over the place. The store itself is nothing but shelves all the way up to the ceiling. The lower one being clothing, and then the higher ones just being all of these toy sets. Every toy set you could think of. You know, Playmobil, Fisher-Price, Play School, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Batman, and they're all tied up in like plastic wrap and for sale. Okay? So we get her started. They seem, for some reason, very excited that she had Halloween costumes, I guess because Halloween's coming, and they're looking to sell those. But basically the plan is they're going to go through the bags, they're going to tell you what they can take, and then they're going to give you an offer on money, and then whatever they don't want to pay for, they're willing to take and sell anyway, without giving you anything, or you can take it back. Or or if you want them to, they'll donate it for you. Okay? So, I think they were willing to donate it. I don't know. But anyway, we spent like 20 minutes, half an hour, walking around this place. I'm looking at these toys, and it's like, it's not as if I'm going to find, you know, a Rob the Robot in here or something like that. This is all toys from the past 5 years. Nothing to write home about. I think we did come across one deal. We came across one deal, and it was 2 boxed Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle figures. In the boxes, these were the ones made about 10 years ago when Nickelodeon relaunched the show. And one of them was Shredder with like a melted face, and he had his accessories, the mask and whatnot. And then a Baxter Stockman. And they were like $5.50 a piece. So we grabbed those for her son. And after I appraised them later, it turned out like Baxter Stockman's worth like $20 in condition. So that was a good deal. You know, it was neat. It was interesting. But I mean, I was ready to get out of there because like looking at the DVDs really killed me, because it's just the stuff that kids have to watch these days. I don't have a kid, but I mean, we're in the Netflix age. Parents, can't you... see, if I were... this is why I'm a bad parent. This is why I'd be a bad parent. Because I would want to expose everything that I grew up with to my child, and just have them watch that. And I know you can do it on Netflix, like Transformers is on there, you know, all the Nicktoons are on there, you know, what have you. You know, maybe you'd be missing out on some good Disney stuff. But I mean, I know what parents are letting their kids watch, and I don't know. I think at the end of the day, parents are just too exhausted to care. You know, and it's probably easier to just let the kid pick. And as long as there aren't machine guns and, you know, like decapitated chicken heads, it's okay. I don't know. But, you know, I'm sitting here on my ivory tower watching and thinking, there's got to be a better way. I think she got like $10 for the 4 bags. They gave her like 3 bags back. One of the costumes had puke on it or something, so they weren't going to take that. And then it just seemed shady to me, because they were like, well, we'll keep the rest and sell it, but we're not going to give you anything for it. But again, I'm sure there are plenty of parents who are like, I don't even want to look at this stuff anymore, so just take it. You know, that's kind of the, that's how most resale shops work. They make a lot of money on the stuff you're not willing to take home. All right, so let's get started. Again, this is a big gamble. We're sitting right outside the steps of Euroreptarland. I figure, as Chucky, my personal favorite, what are they called, Rugrats? My personal favorite Rugrat. And we'll look around, we'll explore. We're going to take a look in the main park itself, and then see if there's any landmarks or rides that may look interesting. After about 10 or so minutes, we'll come back, we'll check the chest. And then once we're done here, which is awesome, by the way, good stuff in here, then we'll go back into Euroreptarland, and if there were any rides that caught our eye, we'll go back to them and give them a whirl. Okay? Does that sound good? All right, let's get to it. Let me don the old Harper transition here. While I'm doing that, don't forget, we got our mailbag segment coming up at the end of the hour. There are questions in there, but if you'd like to leave something live on Twitch, we will address them live happily. Okay? All right, let's get to it. It's Rugrats in Paris, the movie for the PlayStation 1. All right, Chucky, let's get to it, pal. Guy has been screaming at me the whole time here. Okay, so we're like I said, we're standing right outside. You can tell this is Gay Paree with the music here. If you care, there were actually 6. I don't know what these tickets are. Whoa! I believe that's Reptar right up there, who's like apparently the Rugrats hero or something. Okay, I don't know what these tickets are for. We're gonna pick them up because I have a feeling we might need them for admission. If you're wondering what the buttons are, don't, because I literally cannot do anything but walk at this point. Okay? This was probably made for a 4-year-old. Oh yeah, one other note. Back here, right where we start, there's a map. Alright, let me tell you something about people who use maps at theme parks. It's just, they drive me nuts. There's 10 million things going on around a theme park. You know, Mickey is doing cartwheels. You know, Donald's giving out hugs. You know, Space Mountain is roaring like crazy. And then you got someone like my sister who pulls out the map. And it's like, where to next? Just go! If we get desperate, we'll look, but I'm just going in. Okay? So here we are, Reptarland. Here's our hero, big and bold. I don't think I have a first-person mode. I'm going to recheck my buttons. No. Yeah, no. Okay, thank you. Alright, alright. Okay! That stupid thing just froze everything. That Reptar is annoying. Can he stop screaming at me? Can I go anywhere under him? Can I go up his tail? I don't think so. Doesn't look like it. Alright, so let's go around here. What do the buildings look like? Oh man, how about that camera, huh? Camera had a couple cups of chamomile tea. It's ready for a nap. Euroreptarland. You know, Rugrats was not my favorite of the Nicktoons cartoons, but it was certainly up there. It certainly held its own. I would say even today. You know, everybody wants to know what's on a baby's mind. And that's what made this show a lot of fun, was you finally got to know. I don't know what that puzzle's about just yet. I want to look around a little more. We got another map here. Oh, okay. Is this some sort of building? This is. What's in here? Oh. Alright, we're not gonna go on that. I want to try this redemption. Oh, it's help. I don't need help. I mean, I need help. I am a 40-year-old pirate, but I don't need help immediately. Not in this game. Well, it looks like they have a monorail. You see that up there on that banner there? Maybe we can find that. Alright, so there was some sort of ride over there with Reptar on it. What is this? A telescope. Alright, well I don't have a telescope, so that's probably not going to help me, because I have no inventory. Some flies sitting around the garage. The garbage. That's true to life. I don't know about you, but I'm utterly lost. Have we been there? Wow, I didn't expect this to be this hard to... You know, this is what happens when you go in blind. Okay, and then we're back to where we started. What is this? Hey, you ready to check the map yet? We got about 4 minutes. I don't even want to go in that tent because that's the only thing I've seen. If that's all I have, if that's the only content I have, I certainly want to save it. We got an hour to fill. Alright, I'll look at the map. I'll look at the darn map. So there's Reptar. There's some ticket redemption area. Oh, look, there's a baseball. Oh, I bet that's interesting. I bet that's interesting. Okay, I'll tell you what. We're gonna go to those golden tickets. We're gonna pick those up. We're gonna investigate the baseball. And we'll save the tent in the middle for later. Okay?
This is fun.
It is kind of fun, Chucky. Like, I don't want to write you up just yet, pal. Now, what was your favorite Nicktoon cartoon? Mine, probably the Monsters. Real Monsters. That one was really good. And, you know, unfortunately, a lot of these Nicktoons didn't really get very good games. I hear that the Ren and Stimpy one... Is this a monorail? God, I bet that's the monorail. There's a lot of potential here. I don't know. And then here's the baseball. At least that's a baseball sign. I think it's telling me that that's the way to go to get to the baseball. Okay, now I'm getting it. See, you don't need a map. There, see, it's right over there. You just need to use your head. Oh, this is exciting. It's like, it's a baseball and it's Saturn. That's potential. You know what I'm saying? When's the last time you went to a theme park? The last time I went was, Epcot. Oh my god, have you ever been to Epcot Center? Oh, look, you can throw baseballs! Oh my god! That's gonna be great. Okay, we're gonna stop here, right outside the baseball, because I want to get to that soon. But I think we've done a good job of seeing what's in the park for now. And, this Rugrat music. They ran this music like every show for like 5 seasons. Alright, enough. Thank you. Okay, we're coming back to the ship. Thank God. Oh. Chucky, stop laughing so much. Anybody see my hat? Alright, there it is. I've got cords everywhere. This. One day wireless headphones. You just wait and see. It's going to happen. Okay. Thanks, Pat. Pat's off and back here. He's been playing Street Fighter. This is the first time he's ever sat in the quarters. Watch the show. So he's being very nice. He's working on some food, but really he's not. He's playing Street Fighter, but that's okay. All right. So, right, the booty segment. God, this is my favorite part of the show. I don't know about you. I'm always excited to see what's in here, even though obviously I know more than you all. It's still really fun for me to relive it, take a look at the deals, and share them with you. You know, whenever I find a deal out there these days, I've been at this for a while, it's really no longer so excited that I find this game because I can go home and play it. It's so excited because I can bring it back to the ship and share it with you guys. Alright? So let's get started. We got 2 deals here. One's very small but very sweet. And one is larger and just an all-around good deal, I would say. Okay? Alright, so let's get started. First one here is a pawn shop deal. I think I was looking at PS2 games. There may be some PS3 games in here. But they were doing $1 on the PS2 games. And then I believe they were doing $2.50 for the PS3 and or 360 games. That's provided there's anything else in there. And there's a couple other goodies in here that we'll get to soon. But for now, let's take a look at the... Oh yeah, we'll get to those too. Let's take a look at the PS2 games. Okay, so on the shelf was a nice collection of PS2 RPGs. Most of these we have, a couple we don't, and we're very excited to get. But when you're talking $1 each for PS2 RPGs, even when we're talking common ones, very hard to pass up. Christmas is coming, people coming to town. I love to just give people games. They go through the trouble coming here, and for them, that's a big deal because believe it or not, it's like, it's murder outside of Indianapolis, or a city in general. If you live in a city, you're spoiled. If you do what we do, you're spoiled because there's lots of places to find stuff falling through the cracks. If you're living out in Hobunk, Illinois, or you know, like rural Ohio or something like that, or for God's sakes, I don't know, Canada, that's harder. Okay, so always good to spread the love, and always good to have fodder to spread the love with. So that's what we did here. So all of these were on the shelf, just sitting there. Nobody else cared but us. First of all, we got Kingdom Hearts regarding Chain of Memories. This series has hands down the most, I don't know, just weird, obscure titles. I believe there's a DS game called 352 over a third or something like that. Don't quote me. But this one's called RE colon. Is it a semicolon? I think it's a semicolon. Chain of Memories. What is that? this was originally a Game Boy game, and then it got turned into a PS2 game. It's complete. It's in good shape. Is this an expensive game? No, not really. These games are really saturated these days, and they've been reported. This is one of the harder ones to find, especially on the PS2. But, you know, it's not like we're blowing the doors off in value here. But for $1, not bad at all. Okay. Final Fantasy 12, frankly, pretty much worth $1. Really, this one's everywhere. That's not an insult to the game itself. Disc is in nice shape. It's just very easy to find this one, so don't ever pay any more than $1 on this guy. Okay? If anything, trade with a friend, because frankly, they may have a second one. How many times can I say frankly today? Final Fantasy X2. Coolest thing about this one, and the reason that I actually popped this in for a session and not Final Fantasy X. I've never played Final Fantasy X. But here it is, Final Fantasy X, the sequel, with 3 chicks on it. And it's got like, all the trailers had them singing like pop stars. I mean, it couldn't look less appealing. And yet, I wanted to play this. You want to know why? Because this one is actually open world. What I mean by that is I believe you have some sort of ship that can transport you to all the different regions of the planet anytime you'd like. And I think that's great. I think the choice in a video game can go a long way. Chucky's laughing at us. Make sure he's not by the microphone. Did I play a lot? No. Not really, but I think that that's more akin to my inability to stick with a game than this game itself. I think for $1, I think this is a great deal. Absolutely. You got the manual. Everything's in nice shape. Not bad at all. Again, we had this, obviously. What do we got? Star Ocean. Till the End of Time. This is a game I was on the lookout for a long, long time. Long time. You want to know how big this game is? This is a PS2 game that has 2 discs. Jeez. That's serious business. Right there, my friends. Okay, when you're talking an RPG with 2 discs on the PS2, that's serious business. Not many of those do that. This is supposed to be great. And it also is greatest hits. We have a black label copy of this, but that took me a long time to find for the right price. So to find a second copy for $1, absolutely, this is going to brighten somebody's day, probably. Okay? And then finally, always excited to see an old friend, and especially for $1, we found Champions of Norath. A beautiful copy, complete, and my God, if you haven't played this, and you're not too snooty to sit down with a PS2, for God's sakes, play it. For God's sakes, play it. And preferably get a friend or 2 and play it. It is amazing. This and its sequel, I mean, the only thing that beats this is its sequel. In the action RPG genre, and I'm not just talking about for the PS2, I'm talking about in history. No action RPG got better than the Champions of Norath series. And, you know, you can challenge me on that if you want. You're not going to win. Okay, so that's 5 games we had. So we're looking at, an easy 5-spot day. I bring these up, and she's pulling out the book. And that's when I do the old 1-2 punch of money grubbing, way to get the good deals, tips, strategies. Okay? First thing, look behind her. What is well, okay, 3. But you get to learn these people. And some of them, if you ask them a question, they're going to say no, always. Some of them, they'll usually say yes. Because it's really their prerogative to go in the back and see if there's anything left. And I already knew this lady was probably going to say no. She always says no to me. She just doesn't want to go back there. Whether that be policy or, I don't want to call her lazy. She's working in a pawn shop. That's a hard job, okay? So I'm not going to go to that level. But, I think it is prerogative whether or not you're going to go in the back. And this lady usually inclines to not do that for whatever reason. So, I look behind. I ask her, you got anything else? She's like, no, So she grabs the bag, or the book, of discs, because you find these cases empty on the shelves, okay? She gets the book, puts it up, and I already start scanning. As she's turning pages, I'm looking. I'm looking at the book, because this is where the cream is. The boxes are up there, but the discs may be in here without any boxes. And you might find something good. And right there on the front page, I saw a copy of Time Splitters Future Perfect. Okay, so I was already in my head. That is like, Time Splitters doesn't get like a better FPS in my opinion. So she's flipping pages. And I look behind her and I'm like, well, what's that behind you there? Is that for sale? And she's like, oh, you mean this? It's a Nintendo game. Okay? She brings it over to me. And what is it? Here, you mean this guy? Yeah, RC Pro-Am for the Nintendo. Yeah, that's what I mean. What's the price on this guy? Oh, this is 50 cents. I'm in. Okay? And when, you know, to quote one of my favorite YouTubers out there, Bithead1000, where there's smoke, there's fire. And I say, do you have any more of these in the back? Now, this is after I already said, do you have anything coming out today? Any video games going out today? And her flat out saying no. When I said, do you have any more out are these up floating around? She's like, you know what? I think I do. And then she goes in the back. It's like you got to walk that line between persistent and annoying. And I think I walked it correctly because she came back with 2 more and another stack of PS2 games, which we'd already established there were no more of. She came back with these 2 Nintendo games. You got Tetris, and you got the Turtles. Okay? Common games, but certainly favorites, and for 50 cents each, why not? All right? Then she shows me the stack. Shows me the stack, and there's some things I see that I want, including the case for Time Splitters Future Perfect. My God, what a game. I'm still racking my brain as to how we've gotten a year into Voyages and have not visited the Time Splitter series yet. It's going to happen. This manual, what happened? Whoa, this has been through some time portals. Yikes. Extremely, oh yeah. Oh boy. Okay. I think a 12-year-old with an overactive libido got a hold of this. Alright. Still a great game though. And we got this for $1. Can't suggest it enough. This is the 3rd game of the series. Fingers crossed, man. Maybe one day there'll be a 4th. Who knows? Alright. She also had... This was in the book on its own. We never found a case for it. So she gave me a blank case, and I don't even remember what it is. Oh yeah, I don't even know why I got this. Just because I never see it. It's NBA Jam Extreme. Yeah, I know, I'm scratching my head too. I don't know why I picked that up. How are we doing on time? We started at, we're 32 minutes in. 32 minutes in. If we spend another 10 minutes with Chucky, that'll put us at 42. And then we got the mailbag. Alright, we're doing okay. We can run this out. Alright, what do we got here? This, she was like, do you want this? And I'm like, no. And then I'm like, oh yeah, I was like, no. And then I looked at the back, and that's when I was like, ugh. Alright. For $1, we picked up Mike Tyson's Heavyweight Boxing by Codemasters. This is a game I'm probably never gonna play. It says on the back, beat Tyson, beat Tyson. She's like, do you want it? I'm like, no, that's okay. But then I started looking at the back, and there was just one bullet point here that just stopped me and made me say, fine, okay. There's one bullet point here, and you see the bottom picture there. The guy's just, his face is getting worked on. He's been beat up. And the bullet point underneath that says, the pain, in parentheses, polymorphic and interpolative node mapping facial damage engine delivers the most brutal boxing experience ever. I mean, talk about reaching to make your boxing game innovative. And it worked. It got me. Good job to the marketing department for Mike Tyson's heavyweight boxing. All right? Okay. And then we also found this guy in the case. Found this guy in the book, Ark the Lad, Twilight of the Spirits, and in that final pile that she pulled out of the back, she had the complete set. So that was pretty cool. This is a very common RPG. You know, if you're in the city and you're at a retro gaming shop and they have this, they're not going to have this any more than $5. But we didn't have it, and it's always good to put a little more JRPG into your PS2 library. So pretty excited about that. And then finally, probably more because my dad's a fan of this, and for some reason this game is worth a little more than most racing games. I picked up a game I've been kind of looking for, Dirt to Daytona. It's a NASCAR game, and it's made by Info Games? I don't know. It doesn't use the paint engine. So that's it for that deal. Oh, and then one last thing. Also, she brought it. It was loose on its own. It's $1. It's Ratchet and Clank. Size matters. Frankly, I shouldn't have gotten this even for $1. Now I'm looking at it's cracked. For all I know, it's cracked from when I've been walking around with it. These things are so brittle. I should have just held out for the case. Whatever. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. $1.50 on the NES games. 6, 7, $7.50. And then another 5 for the original we were going to walk out with if we weren't loudmouths and knew what we wanted. So that would be $12.50 for this stack. Okay, not bad at all. If you really like, you're wasting your money, all these are doubles, well, you know what? Champions in Orath is easily going to make you about $20. And then this is all gravy. Okay? That's piracy. All right. One little quick deal here. Two little quick deals. Salvation Army. Been finding weird stuff in there lately. Seven Swordsmen. This is an entire series about 7 swordsmen. This was made, I don't know where this is made, probably Japan, or probably China. But it's China Federation of Literary Art and Circle Audio Video Press. It's made 10 years ago. It's the whole series, 8 discs, and it's all in subtitles. That's 30 hours of reading subtitles. I don't know, I couldn't leave it behind. It was $1. Here's a 2. Might have been 2. I'm pretty sure it's $1 though. Well, either way. And then, no, that's not true. It was $3, and then all the DVDs are $3. I'm getting rung up by some lady. She's in a wheelchair. She's like, okay. I'm like, DVDs are $3? And she's like, oh, how many DVDs are in here? 8 DVDs? So what's that work out to? I'm like, not what I'm going to pay. And then her manager comes up, and she's like, you know, Gladys, what would you do on this one with all these DVDs in it? And Gladys is like, $3.99. Really, I should have passed, but geez, the lady was in a wheelchair. Okay? Come on. The reason, what I really was happy about was we found 2 PS1 games. One, if I left behind, I would have been keel-hauled by Bismuth. We got a complete copy, which we don't have, complete copy of The Fifth Element. We've got a disc, a real beat-up disc, and I don't know why, but him and Patty the Swallow sat down one day and had some sort of good time with it. This is like one of the most lambasted games in the PlayStation 2's 2000, or PlayStation 1's 2000 various titles. This is like considered one of the worst. But hey, we got a complete copy for $1. And then there's something that if I left behind, I would have lambasted myself because this game's always been close to my heart, and I've never had a complete copy. I've seen them in stores for way too much. I've even downloaded this, which, trust me, that's saying a lot. For me to spend $6 on a download, that's saying a lot. But now I won't have to worry about it ever again. We found a complete copy of Threads of Fate among a bunch of CDs. Threads of Fate, a very charming action RPG. It stars two characters, one who's kind of a wizard, up and coming wizard, and another who's this mysterious shape-changing lad. And their fates intertwine into two separate stories. It's just... I remember playing this in a demo, back in the demo days of the PS1, and just replaying it, and I didn't have a lot of money at the time. I think I was still living with my parents, and so to drop 30, 40 bucks on this just wasn't in the cards. And I played it on PSP and liked it. I never got to finish it. I think my PSP broke. So now to have a beautiful copy of it is something that, you know, is going to warm this old Sea Dog's heart. Really happy to find this for $1. Okay? And then finally, one very quick deal. This happened yesterday. Walked into a joint, and sitting among the overpriced DVDs and games, and I'm talking $10 for Grand Theft Auto San Andreas for the PS2, overpriced. We saw, not even lined up with the other ones, sitting in the front of all of them as if on display, here I am, Captain Raz, take me home. For $2.12, we find Shovel Knight for the 3DS. Cannot wait to get this baby started. Haven't played it yet. And then on the way out, we found a giant novelty cheesehead for $1.81. Okay, cheese is on me. Let's get back to Euroreptarland. There's $1 and $2. You know, add it up. You're a big boy or girl. Lots of stuff there. Let's get back to Euroreptarland in Rugrats. The mouthful. Rugrats in Paris, the movie for the PlayStation 1. All right, let's go. You know, I heard something else in that bag, but you know, it's all about delivery, kids. Okay? If you got a novelty cheese hat, you have to end with it. Okay? You just have to. That's the law of the sea. Let me get my controller here. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. So let's do the baseball. It's funny too because this is ironic because I'll show you what we found afterward. Pat's flipping out about it. He's very happy. Don't drop it in the soup. Okay. Serious loading. Oh, that's not the way. Baseball toss. Okay. Hit as many targets as you can. You have unlimited baseball. 16 out of 20 to get to the next round. Okay. This has got to be on a timer. Oh, I could do this. Oh, okay. You're telling me this isn't worth $1? Tell me this isn't worth $1. Whoa, 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 whoa. All right, we got it. You're telling me you're paying $60 for Zelda Ocarina of Time to do the shooting gallery and that when you could pay $1 to do it here? Come on! Have some class! Want that ticket? I don't know what the tickets are for. Oh! All right. I hope there's only 20 of these. Uh-oh. Oh, I missed it! It's Gay Paree! This reminds me of Twisted Metal 2. Pat's over here. He's biting his nails. I didn't get them all. I got enough. I don't want to go to the next round. No, that's quite enough. All right, we'll go again. Chucky, I hope you blow it. This is exactly what I was talking about. I knew we'd get in a ride for this game and never get out. Stupid gamble voyages. I should have just played Street Fighter. At least then you know what to expect. Oh, Chucky is adorable. Something about this kid on the show. He's a little older than his buddy Tommy, so he can wear pants. I think he uses the potty. He doesn't use diapers. Yeah, he's got diapers, doesn't he? It's been a long time. This is like if French accordion music wasn't annoying enough. Let's add that Rugrats bass line. And God bless the poor parents who bought this game and had to listen to it for like 3 months. I don't want to go anymore. I don't want to go anymore. Oh, now I have limited baseballs. Okay, we gotta be serious. Serious business. I'm gonna throw this controller. Oh, I ran out. Don't be sloppy, Riz. Oh my god. I got 8 balls left. Come on, baby. Beep, beep. 3 left. Oh my god, I am boiling in this trench coat. Woo! Oh, I didn't get enough. Wow, I lost it a bit. These games are babies. That's what Angelica would say. Alright, let's go see what Reptar's up to. How much time we got left in the voyage here? We got 15 minutes or so, give or take. So let's spend another 5 minutes. We'll go see the Reptar tent. And then you're going to be like, we never saw what was in the monorail. Well, that's what voyages are all about. There's always something on the horizon. You're just never going to know, This is on my way to the monorail. Does anyone know on the way to the Reptar? Okay, he's by that volcano, isn't he? Maybe we can curve around. No, okay, I see it. Let's go this way. I wonder what the red ticket thing is. Okay, here we go. So maybe this is a movie? God, that would be terrible if this is a movie. That would be really bad. Loading's not bad. Oh, so it's a store. Okay, well, we've got 32. Let's do a little... Hey! You know what? I love shopping. I love shopping. A yo-yo? Oh, man, I need 60 tickets. I'd totally get the yo-yo. The frog. I love it. You get merchandise here. Nothing I can afford. Pencil. Reptar mug. Reptar mug. There's nothing we can buy. This is so typical of, like, the inflated prices of a thrift store. Alright, we only need 3 more to get the spy scope. Let's see if we can find 3 more, because I remember we saw earlier there was that thing on the road. It was the spyglass. Let's try and mug somebody for some tickets. Oh man. Come on, just give me 3 tickets for God's sakes. Reptar, you seen any? Oh man, I don't think there's anything. Reptar's yelling at me. That's so annoying. Where are all the adults in this? God, if I use tickets on that stupid baseball thing, I don't think there are any left. Let's go check out the monorail. We'll at least see what's up the steps of the monorail. This really reminds me of Tomorrowland. And then we'll wrap it. And then you can spend $1 yourself to find this great game. Oh, there's a lot. Look at the ooey gooey world. Oh, God. Talk about... I'm just teasing you, aren't I? Reptar Island? I bet there's pirates in there. Princess Theater. Okay, that's for Bismuth. Golf Park! Wow. Wow. That's, that is such a tease way to end a voyage. You know what I'm saying? That's terrible. I'm sorry, I don't know what to tell you. Look, we gotta go. We're out of time. I'm probably gonna have death threats sitting in the mess hall here for me during a mailbag segment. Look, I'd like to explore too, but you know, time is a harsh mistress. Okay, we only got so much left, and we're certainly gonna try and address some of your questions. Let me see if he left anything in the mess hall. If not, we'll move on to the bag that tells no tales. Pull something out of there from you as well. Okay. So let's see. I don't think we have any questions. No, not that. Yeah, a lot of chatting. People have been hitting the rum, but no questions. So let's head back to the bag. We'll grab something from there. Okay. What do we got? This is from someone named JL21 Gaming, and his question is, do you wish there would be a Marvel versus DC as a movie? I believe he's asking, do I wish there was a Marvel versus DC movie coming out? I would hate to disappoint you, JL21 Gaming, but I am far from someone who's that hot on going to see movies. I think that video games have pretty much ruined them for me. Basically because passive mediums, for me, movies, and even books, I will admit, are very hard to get into anymore. I love to be able to shape and interact with the media that I'm consuming. And I especially like to spend time consuming media with others. But when you talk about going to a movie, or even worse, watching a movie with someone in a living room, I could not be more bored. I just feel like we're just sitting there. We're not interacting. We're just watching separately. Now, I know some people are like, well, you know, you just yuck it up. Just do some riffs. You know, and like, whereas I love Mystery Science Theater 3000, I am not one to riff. I'm such a hypocrite, because I'm a pretty good riffer, but I'm not I don't take well when other people do it. Because it's so stupid, it's so snobby, but I feel like we're just butchering the director's vision when we talk over it. Okay, so, you know, there are some movies that I want to see. I will probably go see Star Trek while the boat is getting careened. The new Star Trek movie's out this week, and I will probably go see it. And you know who I'm going to go see it with? No one! No one! Okay? Just me. And that just is how I roll with movies. Now, if you're talking specifically Marvel versus DC, that even more so is a no. Okay? Just because superhero things, I'm more into fantasy, and Star Trek, I say Star Trek and not science fiction because that's really where my taste for Star Trek or sci-fi almost ends. There are a few, far and few between exceptions, like Firefly and, you know, Sequest. Who doesn't love Sequest, right? But as for superhero movies, I've never been that hot on them. Frankly, the last superhero franchise or show or series I ever got into was the frickin' X-Men cartoon series for Fox, all the way back in the 90s. That's how long it's been. So, in answer to your question, J21 Gaming, do you wish there would be Marvel versus DC as a movie? I'm going to have to regretfully say no, but that doesn't mean I'm not thankful and grateful for your letter. Thank you very much, sir, for taking the time to send us a little something here in the bag that tells no tales, because I can't think of a better way to wrap up our voyages than to hand the mic over to you guys out there on the crew. Okay? If you have a question, send it to gaminggalleon@gmail.com. Stop in live to the mess hall where we shoot every Thursday afternoon and leave a question there. It can be about anything in the world. Or leave it in a comment and question on one of our previous voyages on YouTube. I'm alerted to all that, and I will find it. Okay? So that's it. I want to thank you for spending some time with us. We're going to careen that ship. We're going to kick back. We've dealt with aliens. We've dealt with foreign invaders. We've dealt with really stiff-nosed negotiators in pawn shops, and I think it's about time that we just sit back for a couple weeks, take care of this beautiful ship, make sure she doesn't get into too much of disarray, and breathe. But don't worry, we'll be back, and whatever we get into, we're going to do it together. So until next time, well, I do to ye Spanish ladies, well, I do, ye ladies of Spain, for we received orders for to sail to Reptarland, and we may never see ye fair ladies again. That song is BS. We'll see you again. Keep your powder dry, mateys.